Sitting out here, Christmas Eve, on the eastern frontier of the Twin Cities. Can hear a train coming through. Pretty good. Having a little backyard fire pit gathering. Just sitting here chilling, man. I had a few things on my mind as far as where we are in space and time right now. It's nice, right? I think so. Kids want to play on the trampoline, even in the depth of winter. That's cool. Let them do their thing.
Oh, already falling?
So, Christmas Eve. Happy holidays to you and yours. Blessings and success to you wherever you may be and whatever you got going on.
Scared? Are you shivering already?
Good times, good times.
What do you want to take the trampoline for? Oh, you want to show who is the little boy? You're the little boy. You know that? Already falling? Didn't even make it move, huh? That's
Did they sign up? You can't literally do anything. I mean, maybe, I guess, you can, but like, I don't see people shooting lasers and flying around.
I
You
mean,
have constraints placed upon us.
I think you can. Um, for example, when I look at the American, I concentrate on the last four letters. I can, right? And regardless of whatever acronym a person wants to put before it, or prefix a person wants to put before it, if it's Afro or Euro or whatever the case may be, at the end of the day, as long as you focus on the concept of I can, I think there's tremendous value to that. You know, and I think in general, people are tired of the marketing campaigns and acting with their interactions with the population. You know, and I think it's more about there's,
Authenticity.
yeah, absolutely, the ability to be relatable with others. You know what I'm saying? To be an everyday person. You know, without the pressure of feeling like you have to be something or someone else. You know, simple things like just chilling with the family, having a good time, sending good vibes, well wishing others, encouraging others, sending blessings to folks wherever they may be.
I don't know.
At the same time, there's also educational, right, or how to. You know what I mean? Inspirational, entertainment as well is the whole thing. You know, so the people who are acting, that I guess that does have its place, but it just seems that it's oversaturated right now. Sure. It's nice to look at it through this through the camera though.
No.
At the end of the day, right now though, we were talking earlier about the economy and things like that. I see it as all tying together, right? Like there is, I want to have money so I can have a good life and impress others. There is that. But there's also, I need to have money so I can be a human being, a man walking on planet Earth with a degree of dignity and protections that are becoming of any man to a minimalist degree, right? Like now, if you don't have a certain income range, like what it means to be a man, like you'll fall beneath that, right? Like society will enclose you and make it feel like you can't live, you can't be. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, the question is though, why?
Like, why would society do that?
No, I know why society would do that, or at least I have reasons that I can understand. Maybe it's not the actual reason. I mean, more like, why isn't he measured specifically you? Because I mean, people can have money. You can just be born into money.
Right.
That doesn't make you anybody. Okay.
Special, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
Being born, granted, technically is difficult.
Right.
It takes two, bare minimum.
Right.
If you have triplets or whatever, that's even worse. So, people get absorbed in utero, all that stuff. Miscarriages die at like the age of 0 months. Trisommy 13, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
I don't know. It seems like a very strange metric. Now, income flow, you could argue is like, okay, well, that shows that you're doing things. Money's moving.
Yeah.
You're stimulating the economy.
Yeah.
Awesome stuff. Really awesome. At the same time, though, it technically doesn't take a lot to have a lot of income flow. You don't have to. Now, if they held on to their money, that's actually amazing. But
Right.
technically, you can have money come in and out super easily. Technically. It's
Right.
just not something that's sustainable.
Okay.
So you just have the temporary time in the sun, I guess. Doesn't sound worth it to me.
Nah, I mean, we live in a time now that in many ways they want to make it seem like the end all be all of life is your income bracket. You know what I mean? How much money you
The
got.
IRS does a good job at it. Yeah.
Yeah, just media or whatever in general, and we also know that even though that's not true, it does have its place in the sense that you need to be able to move and do things in a certain way as a human being, as the time in which we live. And the fact that there's a way in the world that will corner you into being a consumer or into being a part of someone else's plan or another entity's objective, right? Corporate, rather it's a corporation or a state or a government, and the law enforcement agency or whatever. They all have agendas. And we live in a time now where if you don't push your own agenda, by default, you're automatically going to be on someone else's, you know, because they're constantly looking and searching to catch people who are just hanging by the wayside. So I look at it, money is just a means of protection from those harms that those institutions would like to do in yours. That's how I look at it. So then it becomes, well, if I'm going to get money for that purpose, there's an intellectual pursuit, there's a spiritual pursuit, but it's also, you got to believe in what you're doing too, like what product or what service you have, right? Like if you have something that could be helpful, why not use it?
Oh, you're out. You fell. Okay.
It's nice on the toes. For real. Toast cats on another level.
Hey, wait. Do not run in this direction.
Yeah, go that way.
You can stand right where you are or further back. You want to sit down? Okay. Ask your dad.
Go ahead, sit down.
Just don't move around like you were doing when you were.
Yeah, because it's slippery.
If you slip and touch fire, I would feel very bad, and you would definitely feel very bad.
It feels good.
Yeah, I think so too. It's definitely nice. I saw this survivalist video. Sometimes I watch like survivalist joints, like surviving in Alaska with no tent and stuff like that.
Wait, baby Prince! How come we never went up there?
And
To the roof?
Yeah, up there, see?
Because it's not a good idea, and your dad would be mad at you.
and then there was a guy. Okay, all right. There was a guy who he went to like somewhere in northern Finland or Sweden or something to like try to survive with like minimal stuff. He had like a tarp and a backpack, and this is like extreme temperatures. And
I should pretend I can't.
the temperature had wound up shifting suddenly, and he got caught in a blizzard, and he died.
Thought they would be happy.
Well,
I really was waiting for like, oh man, and then he got found. No.
nah, bro, he died. But the thing is, though, I didn't really see like he took a deep appreciation for the danger of surviving in nature. You know what I mean? It seemed like he kind of was lightweight. He had like a tarp and a backpack and like some sticks and spikes and some rope. And it was like, oh, I'm just gonna survive. Had like jerky or whatever in his bag. And it was like you just kind of irresponsibly prepared, is how I looked at it.
That's messed up. Okay. I thought you were gonna be like, yeah. And then he learned. I guess he learned the ultimate price.
Then I get to.
Well, we learned from his experience that we gotta have a respect and appreciation for the elements. We live in a time now where, okay, we're out here with a fire now, but the option to have
I heard him laugh and then
heat is in there. You know what I mean? And even if we didn't have heat, this would be like, even having this would be something.
big noise. Just now I did. Alright, whatever. All y'all stop. Hey, he's
I see why there's ice over here now, because it can melt and then go back to being ice.
Doesn't just go away.
Right.
I kind of forgot we had a fire pit. I don't go out here very often.
I think it's nice to just change the vibe up a little bit. Get outside, maybe sit a little longer than you normally would.
What's that?
Some beer in the coffee cup.
Oh, I legitimately think it's tea. I like some tea right now. Didn't even notice the H and H.
M&H. M&H. Classic hood spot.
The amount of times I've seen that sign is insane. Never went, but I've seen it.
Classic hood spot.
Your head's falling out.
I can't imagine, like, these cats is really over here, like, playing in the cold.
Fawaz is standing still. Come get her.
They're on another level.
Oh,
They got
Fawaz
joints
is it.
that don't hurt when
Fawaz
they
is it.
It's kind of the plus there.
I mean, my main thing would be, like, the coldness. Even now, like, you know, we're chilling with the fire, but my toes are still a little cold.
When your body's that small, it's really easy to heat up real quick. It's not that much to have to really do.
Yeah.
All hard work is basically done for you. Sit next to a fire for 5 seconds and you're good.
Yeah, they're kind of high strung, too.
Plus, most importantly, they're moving around.
Right.
Wish they were still. I've never really started a fire 100% by myself before like this.
Really?
Yeah. Most of the time I either like light it or get the stuff together and somebody else lights it. I don't really normally do it myself. That's why I was like, oh man,
Your headshot's too bad.
how do I optimally start a fire? I mean, I could.
It's kind of an interesting question, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I know how to just generally do it. You toss stuff together and you light it. And if you have all the tools, then you use that. Kindling is typically used, but there has to be something dry, like cardboard, paper, leaves, twigs that are also dry. And to avoid smoke, you want to have as least amount of water and all the other stuff, like things that are naturally going to be smoky.
Right.
Oh,
I know all of these. That does not mean that I know how to do it in a way that's going to be the least amount of waste while also having the most amount of heat equally.
Right.
And I didn't do it correctly this time, but I got closer than that. So.
No, what do you mean? It's fired up. And then as soon as, like, this catches fire here at the top, it kind of cooled off a little bit, it seems. You know? I need that flame back.
They say honestly, when I go back on, I'm considering going back.
I don't know what happened.
Whoa, slow down. See, that's
Can
why I
you
said
stop?
slow down right where you
What's
were
up?
instead of 5
What's up?
seconds later.
Can you fix this?
Nuh-uh. You guys just finish up.
I'm sorry.
Baby Prince, can you fix that?
I don't know how to fix it. What do you want me to do?
Daddy, fix it.
Why didn't you guys come to the kitchen with jumping?
What?
How do I zip it?
That's a zipper right here.
Boaz! Ennis said something!
Oh my God.
Ennis said something! Get Ennis! He said something! Ennis said something too! Get Ennis! Get Ennis! No, David, we're out! Boaz! I'll get you a cookie inside. Oh, yeah. He got you. Boaz, you got Ennis, right? See? Oh, you laughed.
Which is a problem?
I'm talking. I got hit.
Dad, how much wood do you need? Why did the fire like do that?
See if we can get some serious heat.
He's hit. I'm hit still? Okay. Well, can make that
It's a little better. I just stoked the fire. In general, though, my thing is I can't call it. You know, with the way the differences people are having from person to person, day to day, like ideas for life, ideas for the future are just too vast and varying to kind of keep up. Like I try to take a very minimalist approach and expectation as far as from others is concerned.
I can see why people think I talk kind of evil. All I was going to say is, it's not too hard, man. It's very simple. They're either with you or they're against you. That's what I realized. I was like, that's a little...
Well, I mean, you're right. You're right in the sense that, I mean, you kind of hate to create that immediate antagonist. You know what I mean? Especially if you're a bit high strung like myself. But you're right. You're absolutely right.
I mean, obviously there are moments where even enemies of the greatest kind can go for our mutual success,
Yeah.
continued existence.
Right.
I gotta be chill with you being the way you are. I need you to be yourself over there, or
Right.
really, really hard. Like, fire isn't good for you.
Right.
Fire would kill you.
Right.
Here we are, sitting very close to it. One that's getting a little brighter. There we go.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
We like fire. Fire is not
We
for
need
us.
it.
Yeah. The fire isn't for us, and it's not really against us. It's just what it is.
I think the perfect example to take is that balance, right? Like just enough of fire is perfect. Too much or too little is problematic. You know?
But that's entirely dependent on your situation. So
Yeah.
what I really meant by they're either for you or against you isn't like everyone is your enemy.
Right.
Rather, you got to find the right circumstances to be with the right kinds of people. You can have somebody you consider a brother in all circumstances, but blood. And then all of a sudden, in one very hyper-specific thing, you both are going to look at each other and go, only one of us is walking out of here alive.
Right.
Be it, starving to death or whatever it is.
Right.
So it really just depends on the people you decide to be around. Like you said earlier, an equation, which sounds really messed up.
It does, but I think it's a necessary perspective.
Granted, I hope I'm wrong. Yeah, I really do.
Oftentimes I do as well, to be honest. You know, I don't. When it comes to how to decision make and navigate life, that's not a place to be weary or back and forth. Um, when it comes to this matrix we're in, to be honest, there are many approaches that can all be valid. You know, there's not one approach to successfully making this work. There could be many. There can be many. This is nice though. I feel it. Now I'm feeling it.
I guess I'm curious. What's the purpose behind you wanting to, I guess, create a product? Sorry, with Authenticast, is that what you said?
Yeah. I think for me, if we call it a market, and it is, because now we're interacting more virtually than in a lot of cases face to face. And in that virtual world, I don't think it's popular to be what you are, or to even distinguish yourself enough to know what you are. You know what I mean? Because you could have ways and be something that you're not necessarily cognizant of. You know, like if somebody who might, for example, scratch their head in a particular way at a particular time, somebody might ask, "Well, why do you always do that?" And you're like, "Do what?" You know what I mean? Like you just don't notice it. I think now we're in a situation similar to that where we have ways internally that a lot of us just don't really recognize. And the battles that we go through, I think it's seen more as a, oh, well, I have mental illness rather than this is the authentic human struggle, right? This idea of becoming something more than what you are, or what Carl Jung spoke about with shadow work and working on yourself. Um, these things are not for the mentally ill. I think it's for everybody. And I think, when one can authentically be themselves and encourage others to authentically be themselves, hopefully it sparks a change. And it's just about people being authentic, expressing what you think. Not like a controlled, contrived, watered down, I can't say this, I can't say that, but just being what you are and saying what you want. Now, within that, I don't think you got to talk crazy and be disrespectful, you know what I mean? I think you can say what you mean and mean what you say in good taste. I think that'll provide the atmosphere to be critical of one another and be critical of ourselves in hopes to change, because I just see that as a society, as a world, we may be in just a little bit of trouble right now. Just a little bit.
You got me again. Oh, Leo, you're it.
Got any regrets, Mike? You don't have to say
I
what
think
they are if you don't.
no. I think it's fair to say that anytime in life, I think we all consider, I'd like to do something different, or I would have done this or that different. I've had those thoughts. I do believe, ultimately, though, I hold the position that everything that happened was meant to be, and that it all helped to formulate me now, and that the me now has a place in existence. It was always supposed to be here. And then it's about going forward and not repeating, especially more tragic mistakes, not repeating for sure, but looking to really understand is how to become a greater and greater version of yourself as you age and stage throughout life. And when I say that, it's not just finance, right? I think there's IQ, as in intelligence quotient. I think there's financial intelligence. I think there's emotional intelligence, spiritual intelligence, even sexual intelligence. You know what I mean?
I'm stuck on the plan. No, I mean, what is it? The theory of somebody was trying to study it because they were like the validity. Like you're looking at all these kids who can't actually learn all these things, like they're stupid. And they tried to show the proof that there are multiple intelligences.
Exactly. Musical intelligence, kinesthetic intelligence, all that. Now, within that, there are spectrums, right? Some people are going to be on the more intelligent side than others. But you don't necessarily have to be a genius in any of these. I think there needs to be a certain minimum that some of it we may not be born with that we need to learn. And it's our responsibility to figure out what that is and get after it.
It's an interesting word. Responsibility.
You're it. Nah.
Oh, no. I'm it. Love it.
Nabil, you're it. Nah. Oh, made noise. You're it.
Love it. Love it.
But I think comparison is where it can get dangerous. Like,
Like an enviable kind where you start looking like, why am I not more like them?
yeah, like for example, I'm 40, and to say, oh, well, this 20-year-old guy has more money than me, or he figured it out earlier than me, poor me, miserable me, this, that, and the third, right? But that person may be dead in a year, right? Not to say that you wish that on someone, but you just don't know what their future holds.
What made them the person that made them so
Yeah.
successful in the first place. They might have
Yeah.
had some real struggle before they got there.
Exactly. Something that you wouldn't be able to survive through. And there's a lot that goes into business success. I understand that. And I'm not as hung up on that. I see success more from a holistic perspective, and that is striving to be as healthy as you can. And that is financially, emotionally, familially, intellectually, spiritually. And then from there, after you strive to be as healthy as you can from an individual and a household perspective, you know, make your community more as healthy as you can. Make your society as healthy as you can, you know, from your perspective, from your angle. That's how I look at it.
Nabil, you come here. What? Hey, Nabil.
And then now, like, with the way things are set up, streaming, there's just a lot of revenue in that. And I gotta be honest, I downplayed the value in that for a long time. And I think it's just at its beginning stages, especially once it goes more internationally, where they open it up more, where people are connecting from homes around the world. And it is that now, but as it expands, you never know where your audience may be. People may vibe with you in Zimbabwe,
Too much fire on your end?
you know, just like sparks. But I can feel good heat now.
I tried to make sure it was going to be big on that end. I tried. So.
It's nice.
I realized I should probably have asked ahead of time. Like, hey, you want to burn to death?
Yeah.
Didn't think about it first. I was like, yeah, he said he likes fire.
Right.
That's probably something I should have thought of.
Nah, we chilling. We definitely chilling.
Say Papa Noel?
What'd he say?
I thought I heard him say Papa Noel. I'm like, is he speaking Spanish?
Mm.
Dang,
Might have said Papa Willie.
maybe. Everything okay over there?
Yeah.
What you guys doing?
Play.
Yeah, playing with what?
No. Stop. None of that.
Dang.
What's that?
Kids are weird.
I mean, shoot, they didn't even come over here to try to get warmed up. I'm trying to figure out how is that possible.
When you're a small little kid like that, you move around for a while, and then the cold finally hits you, and you go inside.
Right. I would have moved around minutes ago. It's been at least 20, 25. They've been over there playing.
Well, I mean, when you're moving around like that, though, you're having fun. You're not thinking about being cold. You're thinking about playing.
Mm.
That I can completely understand. I mean, you've never played tag before. It's a fun game when you actually got people who are good at it.
Mm.
One more piece. We're almost out. Got 2 pieces left after this. I could just put them on right now if you want. I don't really see
You
it.
could, yeah. No, let it, cause it might flare up again a little
I
bit.
was gonna say it's definitely gonna flare up.
Then once it does that, we'll be good. Cause my toes are perfect now.
I was gonna say, now that it's caramelized my everything.
We done melted out a whole little. I didn't even know there was like this.
Yeah, yeah, I know.
Perfect. This dude, Da Vinci.
As in Leonardo? Or?
Yeah, Da Vinci. He said one of the highest forms of intelligence is simplicity.
Yeah, I mean, efficiency is one of the highest marks of, what is it? If you can say something very complicated in the fewest amount of words.
Right,
And
right.
succinct, and, valuable in your wisdom.
Or even, yeah, especially with this thing called life as it is today. I think it's intentionally made to seem complicated, and in some ways it is. But once you get a hold on it, if you get a hold on it, I think the key is to find a system that works for you, keep it as simple as possible, and be as consistent as possible. And each system is going to look different for everyone.
Especially for different goals that you have. I mean, if you want to be the nicest guy ever, it's going to be very different than a man who wants to kick puppies professionally.
Right.
It's a very different approach.
And such people are out there, and that's one of the things about living in the free world, quote unquote, right? Like, you never know what you might run into, for better or for worse.
Granted, kicking puppies on a literal sense. That's so.
Well, I mean,
some people are like, man, I love being a dentist.
Yeah.
The idea of causing fear
Right.
and pain and
Right.
people, that like that right there.
Right.
You know, like that could be somebody out there. Some people like to give people bad news.
Dare I say, some people love it.
Yeah. I mean, and I don't get mad at those kinds of people. I used to when I was younger. Like,
I used to as well.
that's just how they're made. You know? Like,
Yeah.
I can't get mad at a refrigerator for making things cold. Like, I'm gonna get mad at a dog for being a dog.
Right.
I can appreciate when people have self-restraint and discipline and go against themselves. So I can do things, I guess. Then it goes back to the authenticity question that you brought up earlier.
Right.
Is it better for someone to be convenient and docile than themselves if it's going to cause less harm to other people?
No.
I think if you're striving for health as an individual, and your work, and you're concerned also about the health of the society you live, the community you live, you have to balance that and consider that. If I have proclivities that are harmful to my community or my family or myself. A man of honor must consider that and make those decisions. Now, that doesn't mean that
Dishonorable men.
that doesn't mean that people don't make mistakes, right? Or have shortcomings. That's fine and fair.
But that's even what you said has the thought, like the mindset originally of health of the individual and health of the community. If you don't care about either of those things, then we're back to square one. Which is why it's like, can I really get mad at a man who literally feels nothing but joy, at the sight of like harming another person? Yes, I can. I have every right to.
Right.
Will I probably waste my time doing so? Unless it's directly affecting me right now, right here, probably not.
Right. And that's the thing, right? Like now we live in a time where on the one hand we have a situation where it's not gonna affect us, but eventually we keep going. These politicians, these officials who have been selected to lawmake and govern on our behalf are just making harmful choices. And oftentimes we don't see the consequence like tomorrow. Much of what Biden did, we haven't seen the consequence of quite yet. Yeah.
But a lot of it, a lot of bad things, you could say that, like, yeah, dude, a lot of good things are giving credit to the wrong people.
Right.
And that's just how it is in politics. There's change, good change that's supposed to happen in the lawful and quote-unquote just fashion,
Right.
instead of an immediate, almost dictatorship kind of way.
Yeah.
You're not going to see right away.
Yeah. Part of it, the way we're raised, we kind of expect things quick. You know what I mean?
That's how people talk about it.
Yeah.
Once we get this guy in office, all our problems are going to go away. He promised me tax write-offs and whatever else, any lie, a wall.
Right.
How long will that wall take to build? This is a bad idea. This is the last piece. But, how long will that wall take to build? Doesn't matter.
Who knows, right? It's a great talking point, though, for the people who are passionate about that subject.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much where it stops.
It reveals a lot of people's politics, I'll say that. Feelings towards immigration, even though literally this is the country of
Immigration.
the country of immigration.
I guess they prefer certain immigrants over others, though. And granted, I've mixed with some of those, the more criminal element of that immigrant or migrant population.
I'm gonna back up in like 20 seconds.
And there's some pretty shady characters there. Now, obviously, it's not all, right? But for those who are on the more shady side, they definitely should have one coming. Yeah, this is the crescendo.
The grand finale.
Let's send it off.
What did it say? Sin mas. Todo se acabó. Is that how you say it?
Espanol. I'm not sure. I know my casa, su casa.
Pretty sure it's mi casa. Yeah. But if you said anything in Arabic right now, I look at you and be like, I don't know what you said. I know the alphabet. That is as far as I got.
Oh, you learned the alphabet? That's cool.
That was like 3 years ago. Well, do I still remember it? I think.
Alif, Bata.
Yep, okay. That's the right one. I was like, I know I've learned a couple.
From school or
No, I wanted to learn Arabic for a moment, so I was like, this is a valuable language, especially since the actual relationship we have with the quote-unquote Middle East.
Right.
It's not the way you should call that entire region, but sure.
Yeah.
Especially since they don't all speak Arabic anyway.
Right.
But I do know it's widely spoken in a lot of places.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, I want to learn a language that would be nice to know, hard to learn.
This is for real, bro. My legs. Toasty.
And Ember fell right on my lap. I was like, nice. Thank goodness it didn't burn through my clothes. I was
The few we got, right?
Overall, I'd say language is cool. I've been trying to learn Spanish for a bit. I gave myself a month, and for 2 weeks of that month, I wasted reading a book to become a manager at Dairy Queen. So, and I didn't even get the position.
You mean you were trying to become a manager? Or?
Yeah, I told her, like, hey, do you have a position open at Dairy Queen? She said, yes. I said, I would like a manager position. She said, that's doable. I said, all right, cool. I said, all right. And she said, how long can I have you for? I said, well, how long do you need me here? She said, until March minimum. I said, okay. But you'll make me a manager? Of course. Started as an assistant manager, and then she didn't make me a manager because she said the training would cost too much money. I said, I'll pay for it. I will pay for my own training. I have to reimburse you.
Wow.
And I said, I will literally do it myself. Just let me take the test, and I will be it, but I can't keep you, so what's the point?
Bogus.
And I told her I wanted this specifically so I could have it on my, like, you know, resume. I was going to say reference sheet. That's not the right term. But she was like, yeah, no. So then she said, since I didn't keep up my end of the bargain, you don't have to be here until March. I said, okay. I found a job online. It was going to be remote. I was super happy about it. I quit Dairy Queen. I said, January 6th will be my last day. She said, okay. She technically didn't say anything. And then the job told me through an email, hey, we, our company is no longer real, basically. We're crashing now.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, so now I don't have a job at Dairy Queen. Burn that bridge. And I also didn't get a job doing networking like I wanted to.
Right.
Because networking is actually something I know people will never stop using. AI, no matter how much people want it, it's a physical, like, thing. You have to have somebody physically watch your network. So.
Yeah. I mean, I think you can scale it. Well, I know you can scale it with AI, but you still need that.
A person. Yeah, like, unlike a lot of other things, you can go like, AI's got this.
Yeah.
No. I mean, yes, but for at least long enough, realistically, in my lifetime, I'm not going to see an iRobot walking around.
Well, that one you might.
Not for my job.
You might.
No.
I think so. I mean, it might not necessarily be a law enforcement robot, but somebody's X-rated robot or.
X-rated. I was like, what are you talking about? that scares me more than anything.
I mean, that's live and it's
All
full
the
effect.
other ones, I can go like, murder machine. Hey man, people use guns. They're the same thing. You know, guns kill people, but you made the gun do it.
Right.
If I have to have somebody look at me and go, what are the ethics of creating a life specifically? Well, it's not a life, it's a machine. Yes, but what if we made it have the ability? Why would you do that?
Right.
Why would you do? Because people are gonna do it. They're stupid and they're dumb. And they think it's a good idea, and it's not. And it's not even easy to do. It's all bad from every angle. It's inefficient, time wasting, nonsense. Just have a kid a normal one. At that point, the amount of research and effort you could have done, you could have saved orphans. But no.
Yeah, but it doesn't seem that's the goal. I mean, the idea of being able to genetically activate or deactivate certain parts of the gene, the genome, you know, having a kid come out with certain hair, certain eyes, and things like that. It just seems too tempting, I guess.
If somebody told me, hey man, you have 10 years to live, you got cancer, I would definitely go off the deep end and probably become a mad scientist. I'm not gonna lie. I'd be like, I'll cure my own cancer. I don't care.
Yeah.
But until then, I think I'm gonna live a completely normal life.
Yeah, we was just.
Cheers, Milton.
This is the gusto right here.
It's a nice end.
Yeah.
Right now.
Go ahead.
Yeah. At least
Huh? They all are. I did not expect for it to take the turn that it did. It was kind of depressing at first when Mom didn't show up. Ellie was even like, man, I thought your mom was going to come.
Is that your girl's people?
Ellie?
Yeah.
She's one of mine.
Okay.
I'll put it to you like this. If I was to turn around tomorrow and say I need $10,000, I could even say up to 20. She would be like, all right, let me help you out.
Okay. That's what's up.
So her people, she couldn't go to spend Christmas with them. And she was talking to me and she kind of sent out that look. And I was like, oh, you coming on? It's like, my mom will be here. She's like, oh, I'd love to meet your mom. Then we had a little fiasco earlier. We were talking about her and Musa not showing up. And she's like, this is normal for your family? I was like, unfortunately.
Well, Ellie, what I'd like to do is ask you to bear with me as I make the statement that might seem strange to you, and that is no comment. I'd like to refrain from pushing
Are you recording
forward
this right now?
audio, but not the video.
Okay, well, I'd like to strike everything I just said. Her name is Francesca. Francesca's very kind. I appreciate Francesca.
No video maintains a certain degree of anonymity.
I mean, it's
Is
not
that
hard
right? Is that how you say it?
No, it's anonymity. I know what you meant.
It
You
would
said
be hard to
it
figure
was
out.
cool. It was cool.
Anonymity.
I mean, unless you heavily edit it, it would be hard to figure anything out. Though. I mean, like, who posted it? When it was
Right,
posted.
right.
I mean,
Well, I mean, all we need is plausible deniability.
look,
You know what
your
I'm saying?
kid also said,
One of my favorite terms.
you know, I said Michael, your kid said names. They said multiple names, actually.
Yeah,
And I mean, like, we just brought up multiple things, so be able to, like,
yeah.
As a matter of fact, I think one of them said my address. What?
Man, we cleaned it up. It was all white out here. You know, brought some color to the environment.
by burning.
That's literally what the environmental atheists say that you were talking about earlier. We brought this to the environment. You see the sludge and slurry? You see this beautiful oil field? Without us, this wouldn't exist.
Right.
You got the toxic dude from Fern Gully dancing in the background.
Right.
Oh, man. Here we go. Then they're watching that Stranger Things getting it in. Everybody just stopped talking. They were like, what happens next?
Are they really into it? I didn't know if they would be into it or not.
Man, she said the show is addicting. Because at first, Ellie was like, you like this show? Did I do
I had to tell her, like, don't worry. It's
No, I like it. I didn't realize they would have been on the sloppy side like that.
What do you mean with the stuff earlier?
Yeah.
That's like, unfortunately, my mom used to say stuff like that. Now, one day I told her,
I
I was
don't think
like,
they have a
Mom,
lot of it though.
huh?
I don't think they have a lot of it in
No,
Stranger.
No.
most of it is in, like, the first.
It's in the first 3 episodes, basically. After that,
And,
it
like,
just, it doesn't
a
even exist.
little bit for what's his name.
I think when the dude is when he's visiting, and the dude is in the couch knocked out, and he's like keep the door open or whatever, that's acceptable. You know, that's pretty much how you want to run it.
Right.
Because I mean, what can you do? You gotta facilitate these means.
Yeah, I mean, so 6 inches.
Yeah.
Hopper sitting there with the TV going, turned down, creeping around the corner with his back.
Keep the door open.
6 inches, you know the rules. I need to be able to walk by at all times. There's nothing but positivity in this
For
room.
real. Homework, you know what I mean? All that. And you know they're gonna be on
Hugs
something.
can't last longer than 12 seconds.
That's the thing, because you know they can catch something in the in between, but whatever it is, it
No
ain't.
chance to catch fire. Unlike this, it has no chance to catch fire.
Exactly.
Move on, gentlemen.
Straight up.
Man, that Stranger Things is like, it's crazy because the first season is about Christmas anyway, so that's, it was all good.
Yeah.
Not in everybody now loving it, man. She came over and it all turned around, man.
Ellie?
They all came in and the kids, I think the kids really turned it around for her, which was nice. I think that thing over there, something is obscure. Okay, no, I know what that is. The kids really turned it around for her. She loves kids and she loves seeing the kids come over and she's like, Uncle Prince, Uncle Prince. She started making fun of me, Uncle Prince, Uncle Prince. Yep. I told her about your son, Nabil, asking all the questions and making fun of you later. Why your house ain't got the hole anymore? What's the hole? Your basement. Your basement was like a hole. Oh, okay. Well, I did some work to it. Yes, you did. Then you run it off. Okay, I guess it was acceptable to you then, huh?
Right.
He's funny like that.
Mm.
It's like, oh, I know who you're related to. I know whose son you are. Uncle Prince, Uncle Prince. that room upstairs that used to have the black bag over it. You know, the garbage bag that was ugly. Yes. Why has a black bag on? Because I fixed it up. Can we go in it? Sure, you can go in it, but I wouldn't. My last words were I wouldn't, and all I heard, not even a minute later, was okay. Uncle Prince, can this be my room? First off, you don't live here, man. So, I mean, when you come over, if you slept over, you can sleep in there. No, but I want to know is can it be my room? I mean, when did you ask your dad?
Right.
He's funny. I think he's the funniest one. Him and your oldest daughter, your youngest son and your oldest daughter have ways about their personality that are just, she's quiet and like, she's contemplating stuff.
Yeah, observant.
Yeah. You're like, okay. And then she looks at her sister sometimes. Or sometimes I see her squint at her something like, what was that look? She be like, nothing. Like, nah, what was that look? She gets away with too much. Why say nothing the first time if there was something there? I just think she gets away with too much. You know what your daughter said? It's because I'm the favorite. And I looked at her and I was like, is that for real? And the older sister says, no, that's for real. That's for real. I'm like, you don't know that. She goes, the amount of stuff she gets away with, there's only one real reason that can happen. She clearly is the favorite. I was like, really? What is she doing? Why don't you mimic what she's doing? Get you some of that credibility.
It's not a duplicatable.
We're not going to deny the favorite. We're just going to say it's not a duplicatable.
I don't think it's a favor at all. It's just really a mercy. You know what I mean? Practicing mercy in order for mercy.
You think she's
to
our
be...
favorite? We just don't want to. We don't want to behead our own child. I know it may look like favoritism to you, but in reality, we just don't want to behead her.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah, throw him in there. Yeah, we was stoking it for a minute.
He be stoking. Is this the last of the one?
Yeah, it's the last bundle we had.
Hey man,
But
look how big this one is. Because this wasn't here. We dug it down, right? And I was like, because you need a fire ring to protect the outside concrete, or the heat will eventually crack this. So I went to go look for a fire ring. I went to go look for a fire ring, and they don't make them. They don't make them this big, so I had to find a guy. I just recently found a guy who could make a fire ring for me, this customizably this size. And then we did the work to see how big our garage was gonna be, right?
Yeah.
And once we did the work to see how big our garage was gonna be, we discovered that there's a small issue. Once it's done, it might come all the way back to, or I'm in the line of fire, so I might have to move. The garage is gonna come back pretty far because it can only go up to the curb so far, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you need to be able to drive into the garage.
Right.
So once we did that math, we were like, we might have to fill this in and then put the new one right over there.
You want to do the honors this time to prevent whatever happened last time?
It's not you, it's just the nature of the situation.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, the air might have been blowing.
No, there's nothing you can do unless you have a piece of wood or something, a bigger one, a stick.
Yes.
You got a stick?
Yeah. No.
Okay, then just put it in.
Well, yeah.
Just put it in. You're all good.
Yeah, the wind's not down now. It should be straight.
That wasn't the way I would have done that, but you know, it's not.
That's why I said
it's all right.
You said.
Oh man, you trust me. You all right?
Yeah.
Back up.
Look at all that energy right there.
That's exactly what
Yeah,
that
that's
is.
gonna feed the algorithm. You know.
Look how, dude, do you understand how hot my knees just got right now?
I know.
Fire is no joke.
And that was just a cardboard, bro. We've been out here all this time with fire. I mean, with wood. Apparently, we burning the wrong thing.
I was watching this cat who tried to prove that the sun, there's something not quite right with the sun. And I was listening to his logic. I was like, that's dope logic, except one small problem. The dude had there. Keep it moving. Get him.
Yeah, there's an attack.
sick mod.